Good morning. And if you're watching this as a video, whatever time of the day it is, I hope you're having a good one. Welcome to Tarot Time, where we take a little snapshot of the energies of the week ahead using tarot and other divination tools, come together as a community. And near the end, we'll do some kind of an energy transmission based on whatever information comes out. So, that's basically what we are doing, energy updates. So anyway, happy Sunday morning to the live people. And we are about 36 hours, even less. Oh God, I can't keep trying. Well, under 48 hours away from the new moon, which is also the Lunar New Year, also known as the Chinese New Year, where we go into the year of the fire horse. And it's an eclipse, so there's really big energy. There's a lot of energy in the collective, a lot of energy in in the energy, a lot of energy in the energies. All right, maybe I'll wake up. Let me grab some water. And on a Sunday morning, are we coffee, tea, or caffeine free today? I'm drinking tea. I had an extremely busy work week, which is good, but I'm exhausted. So, and I've got a big, long, busy day ahead. So let me put my glasses on, say a few quick hellos, talk briefly about the summit that actually started, the Fire Horse Summit that actually started at 11. So, and here's the information, by the way. Oh, wow, that's new. I'm just saying it's new. The way the comments look are new now. Anyway, Fire Horse Summit with Zara Star Child. It starts at 11. I'm on at 1:30. I'm going to do a Fire Horse energy transmission, which is why I'm in my whites this morning. Usually I'm in my regular civilian clothes when I do tarot time, but I'm in my channeling whites. And anyway, that's the information. I do not believe that you can copy links on YouTube, so you may just have to write down if you're interested, and then you get the links to join on Zoom. And then there's I think there's some offerings. It's free, but I think if you there may be, I don't know all the details, but I think if you join or subscribe or something, then you get like access to a lot of cool things that the different presenters have. And then I glanced at the lineup this morning, and there's some good and powerful people that are presenting. So anyway, that's the Fire Horse Summit. It's the year of the Fire Horse starts on Tuesday, so we get to shed the old skin of the year of the snake, which is very internal, so we can assimilate these lessons and these processes that we had over the year into positive affirmative action, which is good for everybody. And depending on what you're, in Chinese astrology, depending on what year and element you are, some benefit in different ways than others. But the fire horse, fire is very action and energy. Horse is about freedom, about empowerment, riding off into the sunset. So everybody benefits. So you can take a lot of the lessons that aren't easy in the year of the snake, right? That's shadow integration stuff. So you can take these lessons and these experiences, and now you can expand, within the fire horse, and it relates to being able to take this energy out into the world. And it could mean that a lot of us are going to get very successful. Like if you've been like on social media or have a business, or you haven't been able to get your stuff out there so much, this is going to give you a big boost. So it's going to boost all of us that are here in the spiritual community. And I know a lot of you have YouTube channels and other stuff. So I can Java. Yes. I should have had coffee this morning. I really should have. Hello, Suzette. Hello, Victor of Truthwave. Great work that he does on his channel. I think twice a day he does guided meditations that are very beautiful and very powerful. So he's one of many well, not many, one of a handful of people that join us on Sunday morning to have their own YouTube channels, have their own community to reconnect that way. And if you have a YouTube channel, please share with us what you do, what your channel is, and let's get the word out there, right? This is the fire horse. This isn't, the snake can be very kind of a secretive energy. It's interesting because the Chinese, like there's 12 years, right? And it, I wouldn't say it follows Western astrology, but there's definitely some loose correlations. Like snake is very Scorpio. I think it was the wood snake, right? And then the horse, that's like the centaur. That's like very Sagittarian. Then I think we go into the year of the, no, not the year of the goat. I forgot what the next year is, but that tends to have a loose alignment with the Capricorn energy. And then before that was the year of the dragon. I never thought of Librans as dragons, but hey, I like that also. Oh, thank you, Nurse L. Thank you for that. Donations are gratefully and graciously accepted, and it goes into feeding the channel and what we do here. So thank you so much. And let's see what else a couple of you guys are saying, and then we'll go in. Yeah, the whole screen looks different. I like the new not Zoom, StreamYard, format here. Finally done with that snake. Yeah, that thing had been a whole part of the heavy energy. Yeah, it is. Yeah, go King. Hi Felicia. Go King. You're Libra, right? I'm Libra Sun. 1 degree. You're right on the world axis. And speaking of the world axis, hello, Janet. Hello, Felicia. What are we saying about the 28th American Endurance Race Conference? Oh, wow. Congratulations there. Hello, Java. Yes, hello. Oh, Felicia signed up. Good. Jake. Oh, I just spoke to Susan. If I'm forgetting your name, I'm embarrassed already. but anyway, we'll call you Jake for now. Do rest in between. Yeah, somebody was commenting because she's asking me questions on through text, and she just said, you do too much. I'm like, no, I do what spirit tells me to do. It's not too much. It's just right. But yeah, I do get tired and I do need to rest. And I do plan on getting some rest today also. Thank you for that. And Betsy saying, I just started 3 videos. Oh, good for you. Trauma recovery. And right now it's kind of a case study in how bad it can get, how bad people can recover. So Joy Recovery Project, that's Betsy's channel. Thanks for sharing that with us. Jakers. Oh, I got your name right then. Oh, thank goodness. Good Lord. And I just wanted to go back to the beginning, and I'll probably do this one more time. If anybody, it's actually started at 11, but I'll be on at 1:30, and this is the Fire Horse Summit. And of course, we start the year of the Fire Horse. We have a powerful eclipse. Now, the eclipse is at 28 degrees of Aquarius, but Saturn and Neptune are conjunct 0 degrees Aries, and 0 degrees of all the cardinal signs is the world axis. But Aries is the first sign. So that's like really the beginning. So it's like I did a video. You may have seen it that I uploaded yesterday. Either that or is on a post, one or the other. I just said, Spirit couldn't have scripted this any better. If this is a time where we step through a new portal, very transformative changes in our society. You have an eclipse at 28 degrees is 1 in numerology. It's almost 29 degrees, but we take the 28 degrees. It's Aquarius, which is very revolutionary. You have all 4 outer planets in alignment. Pluto and Uranus are sextiling the Saturn Neptune conjunction that becomes exact to the arc minute on the 20th. So it's only like a couple of arc minutes away from an exact alignment. The declination may be a little bit different, but that's an astrological alignment right on the world axis. So Saturn is very kind of sobering, very grounding energy, lessons, governments, things that that hold things together. Neptune, it's very nebulous energy. It's almost the opposite. It's very ethereal. Like when Neptune's around, we want to meditate. Maybe we're a little bit given to illusions or delusions. But you put those together right on the world axis, it's exposing a lot. And what's been happening, some facsimile of the Epstein files is being released bit by bit. I say facsimile. I'm going to hide this for now because it's starting to come out that the so-called redactions to protect the children are really protecting bigger players that are behind the whole operation. So it's like, all right, we see Donald Trump's name 5,000 times. That's where everybody's attention is going to go. And anybody that's involved in that and has some level of guilt, their name should be out there. And again, I'm just saying conjecturally, because even with these files, we still don't know, because they've been in the hands of the Justice Department and the Congress for years. So it's still questionable, the exact accuracy, but allegedly we see who's involved. And of course, if Donald Trump's name is there, everybody's attention it goes right to Donald Trump. But that's, to me, that's just one of the players, right? That's just one of the I want to say tools, although people might get offended by that. But that's one of the players. It's like there's still it's still like a global human trafficking ring, and so they're trying. What I'm trying to say, they're trying to protect the innocent. Anyway, anyhow, so let's do a little bit of tarot stuff. Let's start out with a meditation card for the week. And what about Bonnie, who performed? No comment, but yeah, all these people, they protect their own, right? That's kind of the way it is. Like, and there's they get backed against the corner. So what do? More lies, to try to I could go into examples. I'm not going to do that, but you guys that come here, especially the regulars, you tend to be more savvy and intelligent anyway, and you can see between the lines, or read between the lines, and see beyond the veil, basically. So it's all like a veil. They're it's the time come where these things have to be exposed. They're trying to do it in a certain way. So and protecting certain people or certain individuals. And again, they release the files, all these names come up, and it's like, well, this isn't proof, it's just, these are on the files, these are the emails, these are the conversation, but it's not proof. It's, we can't convict anybody based on what's coming out in the files. Like, well, why bother, right? So, and anyhow, so let's see, what are you guys saying? Stop minimizing Trump's million mentions on the file. It's 1 million now. It went up to 1 million. Last I heard, it was over 5,000. And let's see what else. She could have at least looked at the victor. Yeah, okay, gotcha. I see what you're saying. Watch for the resignations. Yeah, many have been resigning, more need to resign. They are using Trump as a distraction for the real players. That's kind of what I was saying. Yeah. And hi, Sim. But Trump is citing AG press, so he should be held. And yeah, if anyone who's guilty should be held accountable. I don't care who it is. To be honest, my views tend to be more nonpartisan. So I recognize the evil on both sides, I'll put it that way. And but certainly Donald Trump definitely, we'll just kind of, I don't want to get into a whole like political rant and just go into that energy right now, but I hear what you're saying. Yeah, if he's indeed involved, and I've been hearing things that are just not true, basically from his camp about things around the files. Stories are changing, they're morphing one into another. So, you know, we've talked more about him, his involvement, and what I see for the future of the presidency in recent uploads that you guys can check out if you want to look more into that. Um, but um, but he's the current. I may have flashed that already. Absolutely, I totally agree with that. He's the current president. Um, and to put things into perspective, why it's such a game and why we just, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I understand the problems with this presidency. I understand the problems with other politicians, but what I want is to recognize what forces are behind both of the political parties, who's pulling the strings on both sides, basically. And I think once we have that, then we will have our answers, basically. Let me grab some more water. But that said, there's been a lot of misinformation, and a good example of let's look at like who's running the system. Say, we go back like 20 years ago, would it be even conceivable that somebody that has 34 felony convictions, and it doesn't matter in practice whether he's literally guilty or not, he has been convicted of 34 felonies. I couldn't get a job at McDonald's with one active felony, but yet he's allowed to run for president. And it's widely known that for at least 11 years that he had a connection with Epstein, the most notorious human trafficker on the planet. That was all known. It wasn't concealed. Everybody had access to that information. So how the heck is that person allowed to be on the ballot for the presidency of the United States? And again, I'm not trying to bash him or support him. These are just the facts. It's like it's a whole game of emperor's clothes. And once we start to really recognize that and start to get out of that energy of distraction of loving Trump or hating Trump, defending him or bashing him, get that energy out and see what's really going on behind the scenes and above that, then we will start to make some changes in our world. If we just keep fighting about it, defending it, arguing, whatever, it's divide and conquer, it's distractions, and nothing's going to change. So hopefully that makes sense. Let me see how many people just left the live stream, which is okay. If people love, I don't care, because we're speaking the truth. People that join the Medium channel and channels like this one are here for the truth, not for the lies, right? And I'm not perfect. I don't know all the truth, so we do our best, right? So anyway, what's Antira saying? It's all of them. Yes, if you're awake, you wouldn't point left versus right. That's my point. Thank you, stuff. It is anyone elevated from celebrities, musicians, world leaders, people run corporations. It's exactly. Thanks for putting what I'm trying to articulate it. Thank you for articulating what I'm trying to say. Thank you very much. Hello, Marissa. Hello, Betsy. Also, spiritual bypassing. Yeah, that's true. So if people want to bypass, they can find somewhere else to go. Yeah, and oh, we're up to 39. Yeah, exactly. My thoughts. And hello from Canada. Yeah, Canada, US, everybody. Yeah, and this is our community, right? The energy should be that everything is and always has been in plain sight. Programmers make people skim or ignore things. Yeah. And hi, Michelle. Rat's been planning sabotage of Trump's for years. I have thought about that incident in meditation for a while. I'm not sure what medicine. Hello, Pepsi. Hello, Gigi. Rise above the politics. Absolutely. Let's do that. Emperor has no clothes. Absolutely. Or new clothes. Well, yeah, give the emperor some new clothes. Yeah. Uh, all right. Facts are facts, right? Facts are facts. The problem is we don't really see the facts. Yeah, we see whatever the media wants us to see. They're not always the facts. Sometimes they're based on facts and then twisted to create a certain narrative. That's not facts to me. But like you said, facts are facts. I agree. So having said that, let's do our meditation card. Let's go into more spiritual topics. Although this is everything spiritual, right? This is all spiritual. Politics are spiritual, right? I mean, we're spirit. You can't get more spiritual than that. So if you want to advance spiritually, you want to take away. It's not addition. You're already spirit. See, you got it. You're good to go. So peel away the layers of the programming, the conditioning, the lies, the falsehoods, the false beliefs about ourselves, about our world, the illusions that we live in a reality when this is really an illusion. Maya or the Matrix, take your pick. So that's what it's all about. uh, uh, oh, somebody asked when you say about spiritual bypassing. I mean, yeah, that's basically to me that's kind of using sort of spiritual nuances or cliches or whatever to avoid uncomfortable topics or uncomfortable things about ourselves or the world around us. I mean, they may have a different definition. That's kind of how I interpret spiritual bypassing. Um, and I think Betsy's actually addressed that. So to feel uncomfortable emotion and processing them, you bypass by being spiritual. It's basically going into your head. All right, I think I kind of explained that. And Overlook from BC, I see some people around being candid in a state of dissonance, but I also see a very corrupt media and people so busy keeping up to living the depression. Yeah. Uh, and the both sides are the best place to get the news. Oh, both sides. All right. I appreciate that because even when it comes to mainstream media or alternative media, I find it all pretty corrupt. So it's hard to trust any of them. But I like the idea of like both sides. It's like we're not playing favorites or that kind of a thing. Sometimes you can get a little bit more truth from foreign news sources than American ones also. In any event, and what Yolanda's saying, without any name, I'm saying throwing anyone who is a convicted predator is nominated for president. It's mind blowing. Yeah. Now, yeah, it is mind blowing. Absolutely. I'm not sure. It's just like I'm not up on everything in the news. I'm not sure if a certain president is actually convicted of being a predator or not, but if he is, that's just another more grist for the mill of why the heck was he allowed to be on the ballot. It's you know people that are uncomfortable or don't like Donald Trump, look at it this way, that that he's a symptom of a broken, sick society and system. Basically, I mean that's the way that I look at it. I want to know more about the system and how to fix that, not focus on the man, the puppet, the player, whatever it is, um, and yeah, for people just facts, not opinions. That really believe that he is somehow comes from a different ilk and is here to expose the corruption or whatever. Just look at the project Stargate that he lobbied $500 billion for to get it going. Then look at Project 25, and you're going to see a lot of parallels. Look at the globalist agenda. Look at some of the executive orders, and truth be told, that there are things that I actually do like that have been proposed, but that gets way overshadowed by all the other stuff, in my opinion. This is just my humble opinion on it. But yeah, research Project 25, research the globalist agenda, and look at the executive orders and Project Stargate. And then, yeah, with an open mind, and then ask yourself, is he part of this globalist agenda, or is he fighting it, or both? It could be both, right? It could be. The lines between good and evil are pretty blurry. It reminds you that TV show Shield. There's I think it was a syndicated show in the '90s or early 2000s about Vic the cop who would he was a good cop. He'd take down all the bad guys, but he ran a neighborhood, and the drug dealers would give him bribes to keep doing business in the neighborhood. So good and evil can coexist, basically. So anyway, I don't know how many people I lost, but that's okay. Back to our meditation card. So sorry if I've been going on about this, but this is our community hour, and I want to address your comments, your concerns, and whatever. And these are just my takes and my opinions. I'm not God. I don't know. I do not know everything, right? Can't wait to hear about the eclipse and the fire horse. Let's shift gears and go into that. Thank you for that. System broken, let it collapse. Yeah. And so anyhow, let's do our meditation card, and we're going to get all of it. And he gave Hunter access to data of the entire population, is letting the digital control grid get set up faster. It's not benevolent. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. And more revelation means more truth. Yeah. Puts the perspective, the breadth of the system that's in place. Now that we can see, comprehend it better, the more healing can begin. That's very true. All right. Clearing my mind, calling on spirit again. And I got my card right away. Oh, the Fool card. Well, what perfect energy. What a perfect card to meditate on. Because the Fool embodies wisdom, or can embody foolishness also. Like the Fool is the Joker. In fact, the whole major arcana is the Joker in playing cards. So the meditating with the tarot, what we want to do is get very relaxed, open, and present, just like any other meditation. And when you're present, you're not a name, you're not a body, your energy, frequency, one with God, spirit, or source. So I want to get very present, aware of my breath, body, and aware of what I'm feeling. And then with that, just step into the card. This is the Hanson Roberts deck. If you have your own tarot deck, pull the Fool card out of that. You can visually look at it before you go into meditation, or take a mental snapshot of this version of the Fool card. And so you step, and then where you're feeling, step in. And when you step in energetically into the reality, this world, gauge what you're feeling without going into your personal mind or your thinking mind. Stay present and open, and just be aware of how that changes. The Fool is air. Also, the Fool can represent ether, or the void, because it's key zero. Zero is nothing, no thing. So it's spirit before manifestation. So with the Fool comes endless possibilities. It's synonymous with the quantum field, that realm where all reality exists and all time exists, and you can do anything. You can create anything. This is your clean slate, or your fresh new start now. And it's interesting that we're pulling this card on the heels of the year of the fire horse, the Lunar New Year that's coming up. And again, for people that missed the beginning when I was describing it, we're coming out of the year of the snake. Snake medicine is about transmuting poison into medicine. It's very internal. It has that kind of secretive side. It's very healing. And of course, it's shedding old skin, right? So when we come into the fire horse, it's like we come out of that energy of the darkness, and the fire horse, fire's action and energy, and horse is a freedom and empowerment. And this is where we can assimilate all these lessons of the last year into positive affirmative action, basically. And the Fool card is perfect. Even though this one isn't on horseback, some of the cards are. This is perfect energy for that. And a lot of us are going to be able to be very successful and to be able to step into our next level. So it's a very successful year for us. A lot of us that have been doing the spiritual work, the shadow integration work, you've been you've been peeling away the layers. So good for you. So if you've been doing that, now it's time to come into the light and take all that you've learned into positive action. And again, people that have channels, YouTube or businesses, and if you have a job, you can take that energy into your job or your life, whatever that means to you, basically. So that's the Fool. So I recommend maybe every day, going to meditation. And what does the Fool have to tell you? The Fool is about wisdom. It's about what's the right word? I need more water. Taking appropriate risks. The foolish fool throws all caution to the wind. The wise fool takes appropriate risk, but still has a level of discernment with that. So there's a distinction. So let's do a 5-card spread. Let's look into that. The Fool card is about giving your power away. I don't know. I mean, I take it as a positive energy. So maybe that message, well, don't give your power away then. The Fool has a lot of hidden power because it draws on the entire cosmos. So I find it very empowering myself. I highly recommend walking in nature, petting animals, or playing music. I'm a composer and plan and spend 9 minutes a day writing. Oh, good for you. I think that's very good advice. Music is a beautiful thing because music is rhythm, timing, like the universe. It teaches about harmonics. Certain frequencies align with certain frequencies. So other frequencies repulse certain frequencies. So you see that in music, right? In harmony. So yeah, very, very good. And of course, nature. Yeah, we are nature lovers around here. If I look out my window, I'm seeing the Catskill Mountains, Mount Tremper's in the backdrop from my view of my living room, which is a beautiful view here near Phoenicia, New York, in the Catskill Mountains. So we are to do a 3-card spread. Music is life. And we talk a lot about music here. Sometimes we go into comparing songs. I know Suzette loves the song Echoes by Pink Floyd as much as I do. 22 minutes of pure progressive rock bliss. Echoes. And some really deep meaning on top of it. So this will be, I want to ask Spirit to pull 3 cards that'll give us an energetic representation of the energies of the week. 1 here, 2 here, 3 here. So very good. I have my clipboard. We got the Death card. The Death is about change and transformation. Wheel of Fortune. And the 5 of Cups. So I will show these all. They're all reversed also, by the way. So we have Death, the Death, key 13 in tarot. Wheel of Fortune, key 10, both major arcana cards. And the 5 of Cups reversed. Death card is about change and transformation. And the Wheel of Fortune. So we may catch wind of things changing the economy. And for the last few weeks or couple of months, I've been kind of looking at and maybe trying to prepare people for a coming economic crash, or some kind of crash. things have to crash, towers have to fall in order to rebuild on stronger foundation. And I think what they're showing me is, the information that's coming out, and of course the Epstein documents are a big part of that. So the information that's coming out with that, um, is obviously causing a lot of ripples, and a lot of, it seems like there's a lot of re-strategizing and repositioning that goes on in the forces that control the government and the corporations, and the world for that matter. And the Wheel of Fortune, even though it's not the world card, it has a very similar resonance. Those more Jupiterian energy, where the world card is more Saturnian energy. So it's more of an expansiveness in a way. And then the Five of Cups is just showing like letting go, right? The Five of Cups, as a basic meaning, is there's a loss, but then the figure's not seeing the cups that are still standing. But when it's reversed, to me, it's like kind of letting go. It's almost like this is a time of healing. So maybe this transition into the Fire Horse is a very healing energy or experience. It just feels like the world, society, it's almost like has to mourn now, because the more and more the realities of the horrors of what's been going on in our world for decades, if not longer, is really starting to come to light. And whether sensitive things are redacted from the Epstein files that are allegedly protecting the victims, and I think in part that's true. But at the same time, they're also protecting the higher level players above Donald Trump and others that are mentioned on the Epstein list. Some over 5,000 times, but that's another story. And when the death card's reversed, there's resistance to change. So I think in our community, there's things that we need to let go of. We have to accept what is. New information's coming in. It may ruffle our feathers. It may create kinks in our world views. Because what happens is, through the way the human mind works, and those that are in control of everything know this, we tend to create constructs and structures to try to build a sense of our reality, our environment, and our world. And when that gets threatened, it's almost like a threat to our survival. That's how the subconscious works. So it tries to fight it or kill it. So we have to be okay, with being wrong. I don't like to be wrong myself. I have a bit of an ego sometimes also, but we have to be okay with that. And that's we had a lot of this is really about letting go. And I think for us as a community, now that we've grown, I mean, this channel's been around over 5 years. A lot of us have been here since day one. We've grown together. We've learned a lot. We built maybe a new construct of what our reality means. Now it's time to just let that all go. Okay, been there, done that. We see that lesson. Let's let it go. Let's prepare a clean slate, and let's go into the next level of the cycle, because everything follows a circle, right? A cycle, a spiral, a pattern. So let's everything we've done, we've grown, we've learned together, separately, or whatever. Now it's time to just internalize the good, absorb what is useful. That's a very famous Bruce Lee line. Absorb what is useful, disregard the rest. It's and I don't know if it's true or not, but it's kind of troubling to me to see names like Wim Hof associated with the Epstein files. I don't know to what degree, but that's a teacher I really admire, or the Dalai Lama for that matter. Not so much Deepak Chopra. I mean, back in the 90s or early 2000s, me and my buddies had a little nickname, which was Deep Pockets Chopra, basically. I mean, that's an act that I saw through from day one. I'll put it that way. Not to say that he wasn't bringing through valid spiritual teachings. He was. And sometimes, the other thing is, sometimes this is a lesson, and the lesson to me, it's sort of like me relearning what I preach and teach in a way, that it's not the messenger, it's the message that's important. the messenger can be corrupt, but that doesn't mean that the message that they bring through is invalid. And being a Kundalini yogi, I'm in white. I mean, not because I practice Kundalini yoga, it's just that I'm going to be channeling shortly. So I decided just to be in my weights, my channeling weights today. I love Kundalini yoga. It's been powerful. It's been very empowering to me. It's helped me to reach another level. But Yogi Bhajan was a very, very corrupt individual from what I understand. And one of my teachers lived with him on and off for 10 years. So it's like, all right, so the messenger was corrupt. Now it's the time to let all that go. Understand the guru's within. You're not going to find outside of yourself until you find it within first. You're not going to find it in the Dalai Lama and Deepak Chopra and Yogi Bhajan and Donald Trump. None of them. They're not your saviors. We have to save ourselves. And when we find that within, then we may attract an external savior to match that frequency, basically. So I think that's the lesson for those of us that are a little bit shaken by some of the spiritual names that have come out or are likely to come out in the Epstein files. So anyway, hopefully that makes sense. So let me put these down for a second because I want to see what you guys have to say, and then I'm going to do a few other things. And once we get closer to an hour, we'll do a little transmission. So Nurse L is saying, we visited last week, even the master who brings through beautiful information was filtered through a human. Yeah, when I channel, it's through my personality that it's happening, right? I admit that, and can miss things. Exactly why we need many perspectives, right? Exactly. And then Betsy's saying there's a Rinpoche in Vermont who is a notorious alcoholic, right? That's a disease. Yeah, pedophilia is a disease, a horrible one, but it is a disease. So sometimes and I'm not suggesting to have compassion, just to have perspective, or we should have compassion for everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for me to well up any compassion for people that are abusing children. But that said, you know what I'm saying. Yeah, I don't have to go into the and Coyote Moon. I felt I'd really tied into 3 cards for the week. Tuesday is also the new moon. Wiping the slate clean. Good observation. Thank you. I would say that greed is the root of all evil. Money's just energy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not disagreeing. I'm just reframing that. Because why am I reframing that? Because that's been programmed into our minds for so freaking long. And it's a reason that I've had such money issues because I equated money with evil. And that's how I grew up. A lot of my friends that we used to do acid together in the 70s or early 80s, they became the yuppie generation in the 90s, or the disdain of money. No, it's not the money, it's the greed, right? People say that the what's it called? The Ouija board is evil. And yeah, it can attract negative spirits, but it's really like they're tools. Does that make sense, Kaya? I'm not disagreeing. I'm just framing that a little bit differently. Trauma is the root of all evil. All right. But then when you overcome the trauma, then it becomes a blessing. And there's certain translation of the Bible where Lucifer returns back to God at the end of the day once he lays waste to the earth and everything. Then we turned back to God, and then humanity rebuilds with all the lessons of the of Lucifer and all the wars and all the stuff that happened. It's like in the Carlos Castaneda novels. It's like the petty tyrant, like the person that makes our lives the most miserable and hurts us the most. At the end of the day, becomes our best teacher. I mean, sorry that in the physical 3D that we have to learn that way, but that seems to be the way that it is. And Betsy saying it's not the trauma, it's the coping mechanism. Yeah. And greed makes sense too. Yeah. So yeah, I think it's healthy to reframe that, because money, if I have more money, I can maybe, travel to somewhere like Kuwait or somewhere like crazy and do spiritual teaching there. So I can expand my reach if I had more money. So it can be used for spiritual things, in my opinion, anyway. Hello, Lakeside Laurie. you miss a pretty charged conversation in the morning. And unless you called all that stuff we were talking about earlier, it's like, phew. A lot of I felt a lot of energy. Yeah, speaking my truth, being in my power, right? And we don't have to agree with each other, but let's listen to each other and consider all possibilities, right? But we can agree to disagree at the end of the day. Uh, yeah, yeah. um, and unconditional love is the same as enabling, same as no, it's definitely not the same as enabling, same as forgiveness. See, when we enable, to me, it's like being uncomfortable in the situation. It's like, and then we kind of, or a person or whatever. Sometimes unconditional love means that you can't enable, right? Because you see the bigger picture. So, tough love, you want to call it. I don't know. Anyway, I have some issues with money. I'm still working on it too. Thank you. Love you too. Love your truth also. Uh, we always have great discussions here. Um, and this is you bring up the name of the almighty Trump. It's bound to bring up controversy anyway, right? So on that note, let us do a Native American card. We do, yeah. So that we always have great. Yeah, that's why this is kind of become more community and discussion with some tarot and divination thrown in, right? But yeah, so let's see if what else through this Native American deck that I can pull with that. So we got the Maiden of Shields. That's the page of Pentacles. So that's has the element of Earth, and I think that's double Earth. Although some readers consider pages water and queens Earth. I to me it's the opposite. Queens are water and pages are Earth. That's whatever. Well, there's a stag there. There's a medicine shield. This is stamina. This represents strength, stamina, groundedness. And I think it's just reminding us to do a lot of grounding work this week. Because with all the stress, the job of the media is to direct the thinking of the masses, right? And the more upset people are, that means the more distracted they are, the less that they see what's really going on behind the scenes. So one of the ways to circumvent that is to get very rooted and very grounded. You're doing like root meditation where you become a tree. Today I'm an oak, tomorrow I might be a maple, but if I do that, I feel my roots going deep into the earth. I feel my trunk. I feel the branches coming out the top of my head going to infinity into source. But the roots are very deep. So when I inhale, I draw energy from the earth. When I exhale, I bring it back into the earth. So bring your roots deep. Be like the oaks and maples, not like the white pines. I mean, I love the white pine, but they have very shallow roots, and when a big storm comes, they blow right down. Where the like the birches have deep iron like roots. They'll withstand even a hurricane sometimes. So we have to be that way. Growth ain't easy. Nope, growth ain't easy. And I have a culture theme is living in overflow. Yes, that's it. That's beautiful. A good teacher, yeah. And a lot of people, because of our programming, we feel a little bit guilty if we have overflow. Like, well, if you want so much money, what about all the starving people? Like, well, if I have so much money, I'll help feed all the starving people, right? So sometimes it's all about how you frame things, right? I think that's been a theme today. I think for our transmission that we're going to do in a few minutes, I think we're going to do some grounding work. I just decided, or they just decided. So let's see. Well, I have a couple more minutes. I want to do I have the medicine card? Yes, I do. I love the animals and nature and that energy. So let's work with that. All righty then. They pulled me right to this card. It's very strong. Oh, I love it. The eagle. Yeah, let's soar high with the eagles, right? Let's get very grounded in the earth, and that way we can soar higher with the eagles. And of course, I'm seeing the horse. We're coming to the year of the fire horse also. Eagles are what, spirituality, vision, right? And I have to see what they say in the medicine cards about eagle also. Um, that's key one, of course. Eagle's number one, Hawk's number two in the medicine card. The key word is spirit, right? That would make sense. Eagle, fly high, touch great spirit, share your medicine, touch me, honor me, so that I may know you too. So it's interesting. Oh darn, I put that card away, did I? So it's interesting. We got like grounding, and we talked about grounding, so getting very into the earth, and then we get the eagle. So I think it's just spirit's way of saying, to approach spirit, first you have to be grounded. It's like we live in this physical world for a reason. Yes, it's the matrix, it's Maya, it's illusion. A lot of people want to ascend and get off the earth already, but not till we learn all of our earthly lessons. We're here for a reason. So we have to ground in our physical reality, embrace the physical illusion, master the illusion, master the physical, master the material, which is mastering energy, like Dolores Cannon says. And part of mastering energy is manifestation, manifesting money, manifesting your life, manifesting your dream partnership. That's energy also. Learning things like Reiki, Tai Chi, mastering the flow. That's energy also. So once we master the earth, then we can soar with the eagles. There's a Native American story about jumping mouse, that the eagle would teach the mouse, and eventually the eagle would help the mouse not try to avoid her lessons, but um, actually learn her lessons. And the thing about the mouse, it's about scrutiny. Like mice don't see that far, so their reality is what their whiskers can touch. So they only really see that, and the lesson is, well, you got to master that. That's we're all mice in a maze in this reality. Basically, we only see what really directly touches us until we expand our heart and we start to connect more with these higher energies. Then we start to transcend that. So then once the mouse got the lesson, then all of a sudden the mouse grew wings and became an eagle himself. So let's ground and learn our lessons so that we can soar with the eagles, basically. So that's the message I get from that. What do you guys have to say? Yeah. Reminds me of one of my many quotes that I love from Jerry Garcia, and you can tell by the hair and the persona that maybe I was a deadhead back in the day. Uh, but one of his quotes is, "No matter how you feel, music will always make you feel better." So shift your mood, exactly. Yeah. Uh, uh, awesome. That's awesome. So right one about Adam's life. For me, music is the root of all. Yeah, exactly. Root. Yeah, music is right. The universe works in rhythm and time. Everything has cycles. Everything has a heartbeat. Right. A rhythm and timing. Music connects you with that. There's a reason that every culture under the sun had music as part of its foundation. The Native Americans with the drumming. The chanting, all that stuff. There's a reason for that, right? So let's do our frequency of the week, and from that, get a quick angel message. Then I'm gonna excuse myself. Cause I'm drinking a lot of water so that I can have an empty bladder to channel with. uh, so anyhow, so let me ask you to give me The frequency of music. I don't know if if that's in this card, but that's what it said. The frequency of music. Well, the Earth. So Earth and Eagles is a big theme, right? Well, we're going to do a little Earth transmission in a minute. Ground ourselves because full moon, new moon. I mean, Lunar New Year. Saturn, Neptune conjunct 0 degrees Aries. Big, huge energetic shifts. I think this is all the shifts that I talk about. I know people on YouTube, and I can be guilty sometimes myself. It's like every like portal's like a big deal or whatever, but it all like leads to the next one, to the next one. But I think we've been doing this work here the last 5 years, personally since my awakening in 1978. Some of you also have been doing this for decades. It all culminates in this one now moment where the grand shift is happening. And then I think it's not going to happen on one day on the 17th. It's going to still be several years as the shift is happening. But I think this is it. I think we are shifting into the higher reality now. So be grounded, and you'll be able to assimilate that shift and utilize that in your own ascension and growth much easier than if you're not grounded. So, those of us on the spiritual path, do not ignore the lower triangle. That's the root chakra, the sacral chakra, and the solar plex. Get those strong and grounded. That then when you open your higher chakras, it's going to be a much more of a complete experience for you. So anyway, the frequency of Earth activates our deep connection to the physical plane by showing us the beauty of all aspects of our great mother and revealing the more ethereal spiritual aspects of our nature. And that's what the card looks like. Yeah, it's music. Yeah. Oh, thank you for that. Um, I get chills because I love that song, and Simon and Garfunkel really did it justice in my opinion. Native Peruvians may or may not agree, but I think Simon and Garfunkel really did that song justice. And one of the ways that I opened up more to my mediumship is I taught myself how to drum and sing at the same time, and that's one of the songs that I sing, and thanks to the master teacher that taught me how to use my voice and actually sing, I can actually hit those high notes. I think that's Art Garfunkel. What are the words? Way I wanna go away. I can't really do it now, but you get the idea. Was it like a swan that's here and gone? Anyway, I'll do a little bit of toning for you in a minute. Um, yeah, so thanks for reminding me of that song, El Condor. Right, I'm gonna post that again. If you don't know that song, look that up, Simon and Garfunkel, or look in traditional Peruvian, and you get it's really they borrowed the tune and made words for it, I believe. Thank you, Overlander. I think so. Sound of Silence. Think about that song being written in 1963 or 64, and tell me Simon and Garfunkel were not way ahead of their time. That's another one, because that has a regular 4/4 beat or 2/4. I don't know. It has a pretty regular beat, so that's an easy one to sing to and drum at the same time. And what's that song? Not A Night at the Opera, but the famous song from that. I can't even remember the name of it. Bohemian Rhapsody. That's not an easy one to drum to, or whatever. So let's this is Kyle Gray's 22 Archangels Oracle deck. That one I don't know. Thanks for bringing up a song that I don't know. Seven Bridges Road. Is that a Simon and Garfunkel also, or? Yeah, we talked about Deepak earlier. He's one that I saw through right in the beginning. I don't know Wim Hof's involvement. I just saw that name surface. That would be a little bit disillusioning to me because he's a teacher I really admire. But again, it's the message, and whatever the case, sometimes people are in the files, but they're not really connected. So you have to be a little discerning also. Oh, thank. That just kind of did itself. Oh, this is the one I was trying to do. But I mean, if people walk the walk, that's what matters. I mean, Wim Hof actually did go to the Himalaya, top of Mount Everest in shorts, without oxygen, and did really run a half marathon north of the Arctic Circle and the Kalahari Desert, and really can sit in an ice tub for 20 minutes and not have his body temperature lower. So he has mastered the body, and that's part of grounding. It's spiritual growth is mastering the body, the emotions, the mind, the spirit, and all that stuff, right? um I'll have to look up Eagle Seven Bridges Road then, because I'm not. Oh, by the Eagles. Oh, is the Eagles, or Seven Bridges Road is the Eagles. These are all Simon and Garfunkel songs. Scarsville Fur has a pretty has a message. Yeah, there's a message to that song too. Like the Boxers, another great one. Bridge over troubled waters. Hope. Uh, so this is authentic reclamation. It's time to call back all the lost parts of yourself. So this is also part of grounding. It's like soul retrieval. That when we have these traumas and these shadows, our energy gets scattered. Our parts of our soul get lost in different timelines. So we have to bring it all back into the present timeline. So in any regards, very good. So that's hope, according to Kyle Gray's. So let's do a transmission. Like I said, I have to take a quick comfort break, so I'll be right back. Keep the conversation going. Oh yes, that was a lot. All right. Oh, thank you. Yeah, that's I think it's more my energy. I still have the age wrinkles, right? But thank you for that. Uh, yeah, very relevant for me also. Yeah, and heart brain coherence really will do that. It's our stress emotions, worries, anger, fear, all that stuff that really ages us. If you do heart brain coherence regularly, you're not only releasing telomerase into the body that protects the chromosomes from aging, you're bringing these very youthful um, um, types of hormones to the body and this energy. So it really does make a difference. Yeah. And Karen saying soul, which feels very relevant for me. And I heard that we need to. Absolutely, yeah. I have people saying, I just want to ascend to 5D, and I say, no, you got to do your work. You're not going to ascend, until you do your work. And then the other thing that not everybody loves or appreciates, but I think it's true, is that you don't have to go anywhere. 5D is right here. So is 4D. So is 1D. So is 2D. So is 11D. But our energy and our frequency is the assemblage point of which we see reality. So if our frequency is on a certain level, the reality that we experience is going to match that frequency. So we have to master this 3D, and then we can raise the frequency that way and then align to the higher vibrations that already exists. That's the way I see it. So anyway, we'll do a couple of other comments, and then we're going to go back. Going to try and catch some SPAC. Oh, yeah, and CMAC. Yeah, SPAC is good. Bethel's good, too. I hope to see you. Thank you. I want to catch some music this summer, too. I've been done outdoor shows for a good while. My mom said instead of playing Mozart, when she was pregnant with me, she would put the headphones on her belly and play the Eagles. Oh, the Eagles rock, too. Yes, Mozart, the Eagles, all good stuff, right? I don't know what my mom played. It wasn't the Eagles. Well, of course, I'm also 67s. Although my mom did like the Eagles, actually, in the 70s. But it would have been classical or big band or that era that I would have been exposed to. This is the dawning of the age of Aquarius. Age of Aquarius. Aquarius. Imagine a band named The Fifth Dimension covering a song called the Age of Aquarius in the 1960s. Pretty cool. You're a good mom. Yes. Yeah, we love the Floyd here. A lot of us love Pink Floyd. Where is Josh? Where's Mr. Floyd himself? Is he playing hooky this morning? Or anyway, let's do a little grounding and expansion transmission. So let's get nice and relaxed for a moment. And just start to feel your shoulders relaxing, chin and cheeks relaxing, and forehead and temple relaxing. And by the way, before I jump into this, tonight at 7, I'm going to do the new moon eclipse forecast, the 5 things that we need to know. So that's another live stream on the Medium channel. And the other one I'll just mention when we're done. So just get nice and relaxed. Tune into your breath, shoulders, chin and cheeks, and forehead relax. The rest of your body is going to relax on its own, actually, if you're able to really soften those 3 areas. And then you can augment that by just feeling a wave of relaxation coming down through your body, your hips, your legs. And we will do some toning, so we're going to do some earth tones with you. Greetings, dear ones. And just imagine that you are that shining star. Haha, Pink Floyd, shine on, you crazy diamond, you. Imagine you are that diamond, that pearl in the sky, that beacon that attracts only light and love and all these cosmic frequencies that you've always been part of and always have had access to, yet your programming may have separated from that. And that's where the problems, the seeds of disease come in, is that separation from those cosmic frequencies, the song of the universe, that your very special energetic receptors that are locked within your DNA are able to resonate with. So when you awaken and you start to feel, you start to hear in your heart, not your ears, the song of the cosmos, the music, the symphony that the cosmos is playing. Your DNA strands start to dance in that rhythm, start to dance in that music, and start to activate and to come alive. And this is where you are. You are on the threshold of becoming human to superhuman or extra human. Not to lose your humanness, but to rather expand upon it. To understand that there's so much more to who you are just on a physical 3D level. And how can you ascend to the higher levels if you do not understand everything about who you are as a physical human being, a house of spirit, as it were, a temple of the soul, as it were? So at this moment, we are going to start to do some earth toning with you. Just feel your roots deep into the ground, deep into the earth now, and just start to breathe. Ya 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 no heja dase maha udi di 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 me mi na ya ushada da so when yo yo ya ya yo dia di 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 Raise the frequencies, relax, vibrate these cosmic, interdimensional sound currents, align you with the higher frequencies, and bring those into your sacral and your root now. Shita kosote bahumbededa why no no you what since sort of the cheshona ya salani just heal the higher frequencies now flowing through and around you. Feeling your roots deep, thick, and strong. Absorbing nutrition, vibrational nutrition from the earth and the ground to feed your body, soul, and spirit and life. To be a portal unto yourselves, bringing higher frequencies, higher resonances, as it were, of divine source through your portal, your vehicle, your life into an earthly 3D world. Jaha. And may Spirit always guide your earth walk. May you be open of heart, which helps to open the mind, which helps to open the spirit. Allow your heart and your root to blend, heart-root coherence. Bring all this cosmic frequency to earthly expression now. You are the portal, this divine information to assimilate into action and growth. Deeper the roots, more nutrition you draw, more you can grow and expand and complete the cycle. We are the master teachers at your service. We are complete. And come back to reality, because I wanted to get back to where we have to go way back, because you guys are such prolific commenters. That this is going on. We're coming the year of the Fire Horse. Is a great summit. It's free. You can get the login information. I'll be on at 1:30. I'm going to do a Fire Horse transmission at 1:30 to 2 on the summit, and there's other great speakers. So that's going on. Then at 7 right here on the Medium channel, we're going to do the 5 things that we need to know about the energy to this new moon eclipse, and we always include a few spiritual processes or exercises that are succinct to the energies that are coming. This is a big transmission. This is it. We are doing it. Absolutely, Tony will help your dogs. Yeah, and they're more open. That they'll benefit even more than humans. In many cases. You're welcome, Christine. Thank you, everybody that's here. Much love and gratitude to you. Moody Blues, of course. Big Moody's fan here. Thank you, Gigi. Tuesday afternoon. What's that? Oh, to my children's children. And every good boy deserves favor. Those are my 2 favorites. Although next week it might be In Search of the Lost Chord. Those are my 3 favorite Moody Blues albums. All right, bye everybody. I'm ending now. Love you. Oh, good. Yep. Moody Blues are great.